Okay, so thought I'd have a go at making a knife or two. This is the second one. 1095 steel. Put a walnut handle on it. It is hardened. But I've been watching videos on YouTube just to see people putting marks on, maker's mark or some sort of initial, and was looking at being done with batteries and stuff. So I've just decided I'd give it a go with. I'm going to use, that's an 18 volt DeWalt battery, so I'm just going to give it a go with that. Leave that down there. I've got some of the daughter's nail varnish. What I was going to do was I was going to paste some on here. Now, I tried this a little while ago just to put a marker or name on it. And what I've done is I got this stick. It's got a bit of a point on it. I was going to harden it, just burn it and harden it, but where are we? There we are there. And the idea I had was to just let the nail polish just go a little bit tacky, not to wait till it dries and then scribe in it, because then it chips around the edges. So if I let the consistency just go a little bit sort of gluey, if I write in it, it tends not to chip, and it leaves a much cleaner line when you do the acid etch, or the electro etch, or whatever you want to call it, using a battery. Okay, so that's it's sort of, it's drying up a little bit. I know there's a bit of a run on it there, but that doesn't really matter too much. So not too sure if you can see that there. So what I've done there is I've actually, not too sure if I can't get there. Not too sure if it'll focus on that, but I've basically just very simply just put my name on there. Bit of a signature scroll. I'm just going to let that. I'm going to let that completely dry hard, and I think I'm happy enough with that. Yeah, so I'm going to let that harden, completely harden, so there's no sort of risk of it sort of wiping away, or sort of the salt water getting in. Okay, just put a bit more coverage there. Okay, so I'll let that harden. Just can't seem to get it to focus on that. Okay, the light wasn't great over there, so I couldn't really get it to focus. So you can see it's described there. Okay. Okay, so that seems to be fairly dry now. So I'm just going to take some tape, actual effect, just to put over the back of it. some there. Just put a tiny bit there. Just a little bit there. Okay, so just give it a little bit more courage and protection there. So basically, yeah, what I was looking at was looking at certain videos and that, but I didn't see anyone using this type of battery. I had some 9-volt batteries, but I didn't really have any joy with them. So what I did was I got my battery and I'll make sure factory get the positive. I literally just put it in there like so. Just sort of wedges in, and I attach that to the blade itself. And I get the negative. Just put that in there, like so. Get my cotton bud. All I did was there's a small drop of water in this. I put about a teaspoon of salt in. Didn't really measure it, but I attached it there like so. Okay. So you can already hear that start to sizzle. You probably can't hear it. The camera might won't pick that up, but it's sizzling fairly good already. Okay, so that's it. So I did do a couple of test pieces yesterday and went through about 3 or 4 cotton buds, doing something similar size. I just want to go across it evenly. So you can see it gets fairly gunked up. I'll just put that aside for a second. A little bit of a wipe off. Now I'll just reverse that and turn that around so get that nice and wet. Okay. So a tiny little bit of the nail polish came off just at the end, so I just topped it. I just put a little bit I have a Tipex Tipex pen, so I just put a little dab on it, and so I'm not too sure whether it'll hold, but we'll see. At this stage we just keep going to see what we end up with. So there's a good sizzle going on there. It was when I was wiping off the excess, just a little bit of it came off, so I was trying to just dab it. It is handy to see, clear it off just to see what's going on. But obviously you run the risk of taking some of the cover off. Just dip a bit more water there. So I'm just moving it across it as even as I can, just to try and get that etch evenly. So a nice even sort of scribe. Okay, so I'll just keep that going for a couple of minutes. And okay, so that's it there. It's fairly mucky looking, but yeah, knowing the truth, not too sure what way it'll come out, but yeah, let's just take that tape off. It's probably not a good idea to wipe it in between sort of passes, because yeah, like I said, a bit came off, but some nail polish over here. Probably not as neat as I wanted it to be, but it's my signature in it. Cleaner here. Okay, so you can see that there. Signature is clearly in it. Now I'm just gonna tidy that up. The blade is sanded to about 120 grit, so there is more finishing on the blade, but look, the signature's in there. It's not perfect, but it'll do. The last letter is a little bit obscure, but yeah, it's a clear signature, so happy enough with that. So